Adam Savage at Prop Store, one of my favorite places in the world. Brandon Alger, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for coming in.
Dude, you have this amazing auction coming up, and it's got pieces from all over film history. It just blew my mind, the confluence of amazing objects. But this is one that I actually have met before, about 15 years ago in another archive. This is a Fifth Element maquette, is that right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a study model. When the consignor first showed us pictures of this, we wondered if it was a true filming model, but I think it's more of a concept model, which you could probably say more about the role of concept models in model making overall, right?
Well, this is the thing so I've seen pictures of them working with the Mondoshawan ship on set, and the shooting model was probably just about double this size. And yeah, I think this was the maquette to get the director to buy off on the form factor, because there's so many like plastic drinking straws where the paint is peeling off. These little X's are probably from some packaging. You could see what is like exposed plumbing hardware. I mean, there's
pretty quick and dirty.
An economy to this. Even here, there's a giant big old glob of hot glue sticking out there.
I feel like I see some zip ties that are used as detailing.
This is. You know, it's funny. I might even know one of the model makers that worked on this. My friend Martin has worked with Besson and the Junot brothers over the years.
Okay.
And this is the work of a master model maker working under very tight time constraint, right? So there's a lot of crunchiness, but man, the full gesture of the ship is all apparent.
A lot of creative energy in it, right? You kind of liken it to a very loose, fast design sketch where it gets the idea out.
Well, and you've seen some of the drawings of the storyboards. The ship is barely distinguishable in the storyboards. It's just like this strange shape moving across our field of view. So you can imagine Besson telling the model makers, like, I want lots of surface detail. I want it to feel like an organ. I mean, there's just so much clear design charge in this construction.
And what do you make of these pipes? Design feature or?
No, I think they're just for holding it up.
Yeah.
I think that makes complete sense. You've got marbles, these specular marbles in most of these things. I think they were all meant to be engines. And it's, how do you hold something like this up?
Yeah.
Probably just like that.
I've got a Christmas tree light over here. One Christmas tree light.
Oh man, I mean, I see pieces of just like hardware store stuff, kids' toys chopped up, little model parts. I mean, in a way, you could look at this and take away, oh, it's kind of a crappy model, but it's only crappy, I'm going to put that in quotes, when you look really close up and you can see how the transitions haven't been done with care, but that's not the point of this model. The point of this model is, what is the gesture of the whole thing?
Proof of concept, right? You get the director's buy-in.
This is the kind of thing I love about high pressure model making, is like, where are your priorities? This model maker's priorities were clearly on the overall gesture, not on any of the individual details. And so like, as you're looking at B-roll, as Joey gets super close-ups, you can see just how crunchy it is, but what you can get out of it.
And in its current life, it's actually, compared to the real filming miniature, it's probably much more displayable because you could find a place to put it. Whereas the big one would be huge. You'd need a corner of a room.
Absolutely. One of the things I like is how variegated the paint job is. I mean, we've got this clear, like, rusted copper verdigris finish here, some other textures underneath, gold specks in here, and then this is mostly silver. I find myself wondering if it wasn't painted almost in a patchwork so that Besson could kind of choose his favorite finish.
That's interesting. Yeah, get multiple finishes onto one piece. And
you guys have a piece like that in your collection. One of the Watchmen costume, where it's like multiple textures on the same costume piece.
Yeah, pick your favorite.
Exactly. This paint job of the verdigris, the green rusty copper, one of my all-time favorite textures to replicate in paint. There's just a way in which that like light phthalo green, as it's like, it's super evocative.
And is it a certain process that you go through to get that color to come out? Or?
Yeah, there's like a mix of a couple of darks and a couple of lights, and then you kind of just got to follow how copper actually rusts. So you look at lots of things like close-ups of the Statue of Liberty.
That's interesting.
Try and get it close.
And I guess you have to nail the exact right shade of green in order for it to read properly, right?
It's funny. There's a lot of room to move.
Okay.
All right. So you could get the shade wrong as long as its relationship to its neighbor shades is right. It's not a single, like I've actually scabbed a verdigris finish when I didn't have the right colors.
Okay.
But your eye kind of told the story.
Yeah.
Plus, you can end up with much yellower rust sometimes, and that also sometimes helps the green look greener.
Yeah. Well, it's the things that you think about as a model maker that bring it to life for the viewers, whether they realize it or not, right?
Exactly. Look here, little, these are nuts, stamped metal hex nuts right here that these are going into.
With the McDonald's lunch straws repurposed right into them. Yeah.
Exactly. And you get to see exactly the paint job. These are, who knows what kind of kids' toys those are. I mean, famously, the nacelles of the Y-Wing fighter were legs egg containers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It's good because for replica guys, it gives you a place to start with on your scale.
Yes.
If you know the scale of one part,
exactly.
right?
You got to find that found part right away to scale it up. It is so lovely to see this piece again. As I said, I met this exact maquette about 15 years ago or so, and I recognized it right away. I cannot believe that you guys have this in the auction. It is such an iconic piece.
And a lot of great design in The Fifth Element overall. People, I think, still look at it as a heavy design film, especially for that period.
Totally. An absolute masterpiece. Brandon, thank you so much for letting me see this up close.
Definitely. Glad you recognized it.
Oh, thank you guys. I'll see you next time.